Hey guys, today we are talking about the best event I have attended in the second half of 2020. So let's get started. Okay, so obviously I haven't been to a ton of events this year. In February, I went to an event called The Gathering in Banff, Canada, organized by Ryan Gill, which is a fantastic marketing conference that was in person that I did a video review of. And I believe they're going to be doing something again next year that's going to be socially distanced. But since then, I have not been to a lot of conferences, obviously because of the world being on fire. That said, this was something that I did a couple of weeks ago that was really, really cool, and I think you guys should all check it out. If you do a lot of Zoom planning, Zoom conferences, Zoom get-togethers, or in-person get-togethers, this is a really, really interesting alternative. This was put together by a guy whose name is Itzy Holczler, who is also known as the Purple Guy, and he does a lot of live events, and puts together event spaces and presentations for companies at live events. He made a major shift this year, knowing that he would not be able to do his normal business, and created this virtual world to have a conference at. So this happened, like I said, a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to start it over from the beginning here and walk through some of the elements of it. It looks a lot more boring than it actually was to use in person. It's a virtual world. You create an avatar, you walk around, there's the auditorium here, and in the auditorium spaces, you probably saw me go in already, there's actually the ability to have the live presenters up on bigger screens. And while it may look a little superfluous, okay, why are we doing this instead of Zoom? There's something about the energy of having the presenter on screen in person and having everyone else seated and sort of being able to get a sense of just how many people are there, that I think was really valuable. And compared to even a regular conference, in some ways it was more fun. There's something about having the avatar that is a little bit lighter and brings a little bit of levity to your experience, as opposed to a normal conference where you have to like march around and pretend you're a very serious business person. You can still be whoever you are, but there's less pressure to perform in a certain way. So me, as something of an introvert, I actually really enjoyed it. Here's actually a networking portion of the event. I was actually in Joel Laugley's, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but Joel's space, so I've talked to on LinkedIn here, and he was supposed to be giving a presentation, but he actually just opened it up for us to kind of come in and talk and network. And this is Mark Maklovitz, who I also talked to as well, and we had a nice conversation there. So in addition to it being a little bit more light, there being an element of play or just fun about it, the other thing that I really loved about it is that I could kind of come and go as I pleased throughout the day. And because you have the avatar, you can just like jump out of the meeting or walk to another room or just go sit down somewhere and then go do some work, answer some emails, go to a meeting, and then come back to the conference throughout the day. This is me hanging out, running around on the beach. There's also like a soccer field. I don't know if people ever got up to a soccer game or not. But there's also a boat that you'll probably be seeing here in a minute that you can take out and drive around, and you can have multiple people on there. One thing I didn't mention is that there's an audio element to it, so that as you get closer to people, they become in your sphere of hearing, and you can actually have private conversations with people. Similarly to the beach, if you look underneath these umbrellas, if you wanted to go and just have a private conversation that you knew nobody else would be able to get into, you could just go to that little area there that's under the umbrellas where the circles marked it off and have a private conversation as well. So that was really cool as well, as opposed to a Zoom meeting where you've got 100 people, and if one person is talking, everyone has to listen. That is a really interesting feature to this. So I got to meet a ton of really cool people there. Channa Miller, Joel Lalge, Mark Makiewicz, Toby Goldstein, Judy Wallace, and Brian Wallace. All really interesting people, all people that I got a chance to have private conversations with and learn from and talk about my business as well. So that was pretty cool stuff. I would recommend this really to anybody who is organizing Zoom meetings or considering organizing an in-person event in the next year. We are going to be all working remotely and having to social distance for quite some time. And this is really a nice upgrade from a big Zoom meeting. So I would really consider that. If you're doing something in person too, I would think about it. Get in touch with Itzy. It's worth learning about this because it was really just a fun event to go to and really good for my business, honestly. So check it out. That is it for today, guys. I would love to hear anybody who went to this event. What did you think? And if you guys have alternatives as well to Zoom that you really like, I would love to hear about those as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back next week.